Hello football enthusiasts and welcome back to Football Talks. Chelsea is undoubtedly one of the most decorated football clubs of all time. In its 116 long and illustrative years as a club, Chelsea has won 6 league titles, 8 FA Cups, 5 League Cups and 4 FA Community Shields. Chelsea is the only English team to have won 3 major UEFA trophies. They have won 2 European Cups, 2 UEFA Cup Winners' Cups, 2 UEFA Cups, 2 UEFA Super Cups and 1 FIFA World Cup. In terms of trophies won, it is the 4th most successful club in English football. That's quite an achievement, and to top it all off, they have a very strong fan base around the world. But in the past few weeks, the champions of Europe are at risk of losing everything they have steadily built over the years with Roman Abramovich, the owner of the club since 2003. Everyone is aware of the situation in Ukraine and therefore that doesn't need any sort of explanation, but to fans who are not aware of the situation, here is a summary. Since the outbreak of the war between Russia and Ukraine, the NATO group, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which was founded in 1949 by US and several other Western countries, was founded to secure themselves from the Soviet Union. Fast forward to today, Russia has declared war in Ukraine, which was once part of the Soviet Union. In retaliation, the United States of America, the UK and several other nations have implied sanctions on Russia. This begs the question, what does all of this have to do with Chelsea and Roman Abramovich? Well, there is a huge connection here. Let us remind you that Roman Abramovich is a Russian billionaire who bought Chelsea in 2003 for a whopping 140 million euros. The 55-year-old Russian billionaire went on to invest more than 1.5 billion euros en route to capturing every single prize in football and would be looking to recoup that money in the way of selling Chelsea. But the question arises again, what does Roman Abramovich have to do with the war? Abramovich was a confidant of former Russian President Boris Yeltsin and current Russian leader Vladimir Putin. In 2012, a higher court judge stated that the Chelsea owner had privileged access to the leader as well as very good relations. This is not the first time that Abramovich's association with Putin and his role at Stamford Bridge has caused controversy. But this time, the Russian will be scrutinized by the sanctions implied on him and 7 other Russian oligarchs in the United Kingdom. The West London club are desperate to secure a new owner amid a budget crisis, with the funds dictated by the British government in the wake of the UK sanctions imposed on club owner Abramovich. Those sanctions have now been followed by the EU, which means that his assets that are in EU territory have been frozen. The Saudi media group have made an initial offer of 2.7 billion euros to buy Chelsea Football Club from Roman Abramovich, according to reports. Abramovich had announced recently that he was hoping to sell the club, but at this stage, any sale will not be allowed subject to special dispensation from the government and on the condition that the billionaire profits from it in no way. Following sanctions against Abramovich and the freezing of his assets, the UK government are overseeing the move, which will see him relinquish control over the club he purchased in 2003. After handing over stewardship of the club in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Abramovich said the selling of the club was in the best interest of the fans, employees, sponsors and partners. Chelsea will still be able to operate and compete under a special license, but they will no longer be able to sell additional tickets to any upcoming matches, meaning that only season ticket holders will be permitted to attend games for the foreseeable future. Despite Thursday's sanctions, Chelsea could still be sold. Ultimately, however, Abramovich would have to receive no proceeds from the sale, and it would require governmental approval for it to go through. A statement from the EU on Tuesday read, Roman Abramovich is a Russian oligarch who has long and close ties with Vladimir Putin. He has had privileged access to the president and has maintained very good relations with him. This connection with the Russian leader helped him to maintain his considerable wealth. He is a major shareholder of the steel group Evraz, which is one of Russia's largest taxpayers. All in all, Roman Abramovich is a key individual in all of Russia's moves, be it economically, politically, or even the defense sector of the country. And therefore he has been sanctioned by the UK government in the hopes of containing Vladimir Putin and freezing all his assets in economic terms. This video has turned out to be too political, hasn't it? Let's shift our attention to sporting matters of Chelsea.
Really? No?
The club seems to cope well on the pitch, even after all this chaos. The club's players, and especially their manager Thomas Tuchel, has shown full support towards the club. For instance, the club couldn't pay for the bus fuel. Could you imagine if we were to tell you that Chelsea, the champions of Europe, couldn't afford their bus fares? We can already see the comments and dislikes flooding in, but today that is the reality. Even if it seems like everything is going wrong with Chelsea, it's safe to say that this chaos has not affected the club in any way in terms of the team performances on the pitch. Chelsea have won all of the last 5 matches comfortably and are still one of the favourites to lift the UCL, after they brushed past Liga 1 champions Lille in the round of 16, with the 2 legs resulting in a 4-1 win on aggregate for Chelsea. It is for sure that Roman Abramovich will not remain as the club's owner and will most likely have to sell Chelsea for the base price set by the UK government and will not be making any profits on the sale. Here is a statement released by Abramovich regarding the sale of Chelsea. I have instructed my team to set up a charitable foundation where all net proceeds from the sale will be donated. The foundation will be for the benefit of all victims of the war in Ukraine. This includes providing critical funds towards the urgent and immediate needs of victims as well as supporting the long-term work of recovery. Chelsea have developed into one of Europe's biggest and most successful clubs, and this means only a select group of uber rich will be able to afford the purchase of the London club. This list includes the Saudi media group, Todd Bowley, Nick Candy, Woody Johnson, Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Martin Broughton, who are all potential candidates for the sale of Chelsea. A video would be heading your way regarding the next owner of Chelsea and how the club will operate financially as well as on the pitch. Until then, that is it from my side. Take care and see you around for the next video.